Diana Frances Spencer, born in July 1st, 1961 at Park House, the home that her parents rented on the Queen Elizabeth II's estate at Sandringham, and where Diana's childhood playmates were the Queen's younger sons, Prince Andrew and Prince Edward. She was the third child and youngest daughter of Edward John Spencer and his first wife, Frances Ruth Burke. Her parents' troubled marriage ended in divorce when Diana was just 7, and she, along with her brother Charles Spencer and two sisters, Lady Sarah and Lady Jane Fellows, remained with her father. She became Lady Diana Spencer when her father succeeded to the earldom in 1975. The soon-to-be princess struggled in school and eventually dropped out. While she was in boarding school, Diana failed her O-level exams twice before dropping out of school. She later enrolled at a finishing school in Switzerland, but was only there for one semester before meeting Prince Charles and dropping out. She had a great fondness for children, so she returned to England and became a kindergarten assistant at the fashionable Young England School in Pimlico. She renewed her contacts with the royal family, and her friendship with Charles grew in 1980. On February 24, 1981, their engagement was announced, and her beauty and shy demeanor, which earned her the nickname Shy D, made her an instant sensation with the media and the public. Her involvement in the royal family boosted the royal family's popularity and lifted the royal family. The couple married in St. Paul's Cathedral on July 29, 1981, in a globally televised ceremony watched by an audience numbering 750 million. That's 6.5 times the number of people who watched the most viewed Super Bowl. Diana had a 25-feet train on her wedding dress. As most royal brides, including Queen Elizabeth II, Princess Margaret and Princess Anne, adhered to the wedding vows to obey him and serve him, love, honor, and keep him in sickness and in health, Princess Diana decided to omit obey, and this choice was later echoed by her future daughter-in-law, Kate Middleton. In July 21, 1982, the couple welcomed their first child, Prince William Arthur Philip Louis of Wales, and in September 25, 1984, their second son, Prince Henry Charles Albert David, who goes by his nickname Harry. To ensure that William and Harry had an understanding of people's emotions, their insecurities, people's distress, and their hopes and dreams, Diana brought her sons with her to hospitals, homeless shelters, and orphanages. To acquaint them with the world outside royal privilege, she took them to fast food restaurants and on public transportations. Her compassion, personal warmth, humility, and accessibility earned her the sobriquet the People's Princess. As a child, little Diana studied ballet and dreamt of taking the stage with the Royal Ballet. Unfortunately, her height held her back as she eventually grew to nearly 5 foot 11 inches, but her passion for dance remained even after she married Prince Charles in 1981. She was known for her generosity in supporting the English National Ballet, both as a private dancer and through fundraising efforts. In 1985, she surprised an audience, including the royal family, at the Royal Opera House with a 3-minute contemporary dance performed with a friend and former ballet principal Wayne Sleep. Princess Di rapidly evolved into an icon of grace, elegance, and glamour. Behind the scenes, however, marital difficulties between the princess and prince were growing. Diana struggled with severe postnatal depression, low self-esteem, eating disorders, and the mounting strain of being constantly pursued by both the official media royal watchers and the tabloid press, particularly the paparazzi. Diana's unprecedented popularity both in Britain and abroad continued after her divorce. She was an icon figure of the late 20th century. During her life, she was often said to be the most photographed person on the planet. She epitomized feminine beauty and glamour. She appeared on the cover of many magazines. Although she used that celebrity to great effect in promoting her charitable work, the media were often intrusive. She harnessed that media frenzy to raise awareness of a number of progressive philanthropic causes, such as AIDS and HIV prevention and education, landmines, and homelessness. She even auctioned off several of her iconic dresses to raise over $5 million for the AIDS and breast cancer charities.
HIV does not make people dangerous to know, so you can shake their hands and give them a hug. Heaven knows they need it. Eating disorders, whether it be anorexia or bulimia, show how an individual can turn the nourishment of the body into a painful attack on themselves.
Princess Diana was always eager to meet people of all ages and backgrounds while traveling, and refused to wear gloves when meeting people, which was typically customary for royals. In 1987, Diana opened Britain's first aid ward in London, which only cared for patients with the virus. Her AIDS charity work took her to South Africa on many occasions, and in 1997, Diana met with President Nelson Mandela, who sought to join the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund and Diana, Princess of Wales Memorial Fund to help victims of AIDS. Diana's work with these charities dispelled the stigma surrounding AIDS. It was there that she shook hands with an AIDS patient without gloves. She became the first high-profile celebrity to do so in order to challenge the stigma that the virus could be passed by touch. Recognizing the lack of education on the disease, Diana used her status to bring awareness to the AIDS epidemic. In 1992, Diana became a patron to Centrepoint, a charity that provides housing and support for the young people across the UK. She was passionate about her mission to give homeless adolescents a future and bring about an end to youth homelessness, poverty, and raise the awareness of mental health. Diana worked prolifically against the use of landmines, mainly those who suffered as a consequence to left behind landmines post-war. After touring an Angolan minefield in 1997, Diana worked closely with the Halo Trust, an organization dedicated to removing the debris after war, with a specific focus on landmines. After her heartbreaking death in August 31, 1997, due to a car crash in Paris, Princess Diana was laid to rest at Althorpe House in Northampton. Her memorial is located on a small tranquil island across from the lake, where visitors can go to pay their respect to the people's princess. Diana was known as a prodigious fundraiser and at one point was linked to more than 100 charities. Diana's life and her death polarized national feeling about the existing system of monarchy and, in a sense, about British identity, which appeared antiquated and unfeeling in a populist age of media celebrity in which Diana herself was a central figure. Millions of people said they identify with her quest for happiness and her sense of altruism. To this day, many of us still look at Diana as one of the greatest figures of the 20th century. Diana was and is still loved and admired on a global scale. Regarded as a compassionate humanitarian and mother of a king, she was a comet that burned out too quickly.